The objectives of this video are to provide an understanding of the weightings of paper and profiles for CSEC Mathematics under normal circumstances, to demonstrate how profile scores are determined from weightings of paper and profiles table for the modified approach as applied to CSEC Mathematics. Understanding the weighting of paper and profiles. Let us take another look at the table in the CSEC Mathematics syllabus, page 5, under the caption Weighting of Paper and Profiles. The maximum score to be earned by a candidate is 200 marks. The knowledge profile contributes 30% of the candidate's final grade. The comprehension profile contributes 40% and reasoning contributes 30%. Though paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 contribute 30%, 50% and 20% respectively. For the purpose of grading, the paper contribution is not as important as the profile contribution, since CXC grades on profiles and not paper. The modified approach. Owing to the breach of the CSEC Mathematics Paper 2 examination, the scores from the Paper 2 will not be used in grading the subject. Let us remove Paper 2 from the assessment grid. The knowledge profiles contribution remains 30% of the candidate's final grade. The comprehension profiles contribution remains 40% and reasoning remains 30%. This means that the overall contribution remains the same with paper 02 removed. In the case of the paper contribution with paper 2 removed, paper 1 and paper 3 now contribute 60% and 40% respectively. Like the normal grading process, when grading under the modified approach, the paper contribution is not as important as the profile contribution, since CXC grades on profiles and not paper. Now let us convert the profiles column to a row. Then convert the total column to a row. The total column now becomes the maximum score for each profile. Each profile has letter grades A to F in the case of CSEC. Let us change the word total to composite, which is the preferred term by CXC at grading. CSEC has a 6-point grading system, grades 1 to 6. Each grade band within each grading system has a specific cut-off point. CXC does not make cut-offs public, so the purpose of this presentation, let us assume that the minimum score a candidate may earn in order to be awarded a grade 3, the lowest acceptable grade, is 70%, which is translated to 70 marks out of the available maximum of 100 marks, the total for CSEC Mathematics. Now work backwards to determine the cutoffs for the other grades. Using a consistent difference of 10% between each cutoffs for each grade band, we get 80% or 80 marks at grade 2, 90% or 90 marks at grade 1, 60% or 60 marks at grade 4, 50% or 50 marks at grade 5, and less than 50% or less than 50 marks at grade 6. So, now that we have established the maximum score for each profile, max row, and we have established the cutoffs for each grade according to the columns composite, grade, and cutoff, we need to complete the table by establishing the minimum for each profile grade. For the knowledge profile, profile grade has a minimum of 90% times 30, which is cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, equal 27. In the case of comprehension profile, profile grade A has a minimum of 90% times 40, cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, equal 36. In the case of the reasoning profile, profile grade A has a minimum of 90% times 30, which is cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, equal 27. Again, for the knowledge profile, profile grade B has a minimum of 80% times 30, which is the cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, equal 24. In the case of comprehension profile, profile grade B has a minimum of 80% times 40, which is the cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, equals 32. In the case of reasoning profile, profile grade B has a minimum of 80% times 30, cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, which is 24. Again, for the knowledge profile, profile grade C has a minimum of 70% times 30, equal 21. In the case of the comprehension profile, profile grade C has a minimum of 70% times 40, equal 28. In the case of reasoning profile, profile grade B has a minimum of 80% times 30. Continuing with this logic, we complete the table. So from the table, the maximum composite score for the subject is 100 marks with paper 2 removed. The maximum score for knowledge and reasoning is 30 marks. The maximum score for comprehension is 40 marks. Each profile has a letter grade A to F, as this is for a CSEC subject. Each letter grade is associated with a range of scores that contributes to the final grade awarded. That is, for knowledge and reasoning, A ranges from 27 marks to 30 marks. B ranges from 24 marks to 26 marks. C ranges from 21 marks to 23 marks, and so on. And for comprehension, A ranges from 36 marks to 40 marks. B ranges from 32 marks to 35 marks. C ranges from 28 marks to 31 marks, and so on. Now, based on this information, a candidate should appreciate the following. CSEC candidates are reminded that the acceptable grade bands remain as follows. Profile grades D, E, and F are not allowed for grade 1. Profile grades E and F are not allowed for grade 2 and grade 3. The Caribbean Examinations Council, as always, is committed to the award of valid and comparative results and has the requisite systems in place for the assurance that candidates' results are a true reflection of their efforts.